Hi everybody, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. That was a niggin by Rabbi Baruch Haidt, and it also comes with words. Min hametzar karati ya, from the narrows I call to you. And we are here in Minneapolis, coming out of a very narrow place, and also we are about to enter Passover, where we tell the story of our people's liberation from the narrows. And so, yeah, just bringing that forward as we land here together. My name is Margot. I'm part of the My People Sing staff, and I use they, them pronouns, and I'm here with so many lovely humans in Minnesota Makoche, which means the land where the waters reflect the skies. And we are on Dakota Anishinaabe land in southern Minneapolis, just a few blocks from both where George Floyd was killed and a few blocks from where Raina Good was killed earlier this winter. So just landing us in this broken and beautiful place that we all call home. And we'll introduce ourselves as we introduce our songs and words, but I'm here on the screen with Kestrel, Bex, and Riv, and then we have off-screen Miri, Ricardo, and Jessica, and bonus Leela. So you'll be seeing people on their screens throughout, but those are the people. We're all so grateful to all be in one room together. What a gift. And so we're going to go back and forth between sharing songs and sharing some learnings and stories, and we're not going to teach the songs, but we will put the link to the lyrics in the chat, and we very much invite you to sing with us. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. Yeah. I'm going to pass it to Kestrel.
Hi everyone, my name is Kestrel. I use she and her pronouns. When Margot invited me to be part of this, I was reflecting on just the power of song in these last few months, and I was reflecting on an action that I was a part of that Bex helped lead through Singing Resistance, in which a couple thousand folks got together and walked through the streets of this neighborhood singing to our neighbors who are stuck inside. And I was reflecting on how powerful and impacting that was, and why that was. And it had come out of, weeks of us all being so hyper locally focused, literally on the 20 houses surrounding our own house, literally on a block to block level. And I was thinking of the metaphor of a river and how we had all been tending these tiny tributaries of our block, and that coming together with all of these neighbors who had been doing the same work with giving rides to kids and dropping off groceries and raising rent money and accompanying people to medical appointments, and being in the streets all together in this collective song. It was like in that moment I felt the power of the river that all of our little tributaries were feeding into. And then to see our neighbors who are sheltering in place come to the windows, open doors, stand on their porches. I remember one person held their cat, like the curtain parted and I saw a little cat and the paw waving, or a phone that was just held up to the window, and this sense of connection and this shared cohesiveness of us all really being in this moment together and sharing the reciprocity of support and solidarity. So I think that action
over later, but much
that experience brought that into just a physical manifestation of that power. So I wanted to open with that and then turn it over to Bex to lead our next song.
Yeah, thank you, Kestrel, for those beautiful words. I'm Bex, and this is a call and echo song written by local singer, songwriter, community leader Serena Partridge. And it's a zipper song, so you maybe have been already instructed to do this, but you can write in things in the chat that we can zipper in. Margot, if you would be my chat eyes, I can't see from here, but you can feed me what you'd like. We'd like to sing to, and it goes like this: call and response. We are here.
We are here
with our neighbors.
with our neighbors.
Together we sing.
Our love for each other will carry us through.
Can we do that again? Yes, our
Love for each other will carry us through.
We are here.
We are here
with our neighbors.
with our neighbors. Our love for each other will carry us through. Yes, our love for each other will carry us through.
We are We are here.
We are here
with our relatives.
With our relatives. Our love for each other will carry us through.
Yes, it will.
Yes, our love for each other will carry us through.
Tears. We are here.
We are here
with our tears.
with our tears. Our love for each other will carry us through. Yes, our love for each other will carry us through.
Music. We are here.
We are here
with our music.
with our music. Our love for each other will carry us through. Yes, our love for each other will carry us through.
Wholeness. We are here.
We are here
with our wholeness.
with our wholeness. Our love for each other will carry us through. Yes, our love for each other will carry us through.
One more time, back to neighbors. We are here.
We are here
with our neighbors.
with our neighbors. Our love for each other will carry us through. Yes, our love for each other will carry us through. Yes, our love for each other will carry us
Thank you. I'm allergic to cats.
Oh no. We're gonna pass it over to Ricardo.
Hello, I'm Ricardo Levins Morales, and it's lovely to be here with you all. Just wanted to start by saying that the title of this is about songs, skills, and stories for fighting fascism. And of course, there's a lot to know about fascism, but that's not what I want to talk about. Because what we really need first is to know ourselves and to know our own sources of strength and resistance and resilience. There are lessons to learn from this moment. Oh my gosh. In this current flashpoint in Minnesota, like there are from every other. But what I want to linger on is not so much the lessons to draw, but rather how we learn them. My way is through threads of interconnection. Understanding anything is about discerning how it's similar and how it's different from other things. Here we are wrapped in songs, and any singer, any musician can hear within the songs that they sing the legacy, the rhythms, the colors, the temperatures inherited from other musical traditions and genres, passed on and interchanged through and blended through migrations, conquests, trade, celebrations, and other relationships. And that's how I read movements. Each one is made of something old, something new, something borrowed, something true. People experiencing mass struggle now for the first time need to understand how deep into history the roots of resistance principles, tactics, and strategies extend. Those of us who have been engaged for decades need to listen carefully for what is new in this particular moment and the people who are bringing it forth. And those who are somewhere in between must take measure for how much they know and how much they don't know. In fact, we all need to do that. History shifts come in tides, and tides are made up of waves. I would say that we've been in a rising tide with the ebbs and flows of different waves for the last decade and a half, starting with the shock waves from the Arab Spring that set in motion the Wisconsin labor uprising and the Occupy movement. Even though these waves fall back to the sea after each surge, the tide is still on the rise. That's not always visible. After the Montgomery bus boycott in 1956, that really set off the era of the civil rights Black freedom struggle, the year I was born, 3 years passed before leaders and organizers could figure out what the heck to do next. Sometimes the rise and falls of left and right-wing movements are opposite each other like the seats on a seesaw. And that's what I've experienced through most of my life. But other times, like now, both can be on the rise at the same time as the liberal middle descends into empty posturing. Recent waves have included the Dreamers, the Dream Descenders, Black Lives Matter, Me Too, Standing Rock, Pandemic Response, the pandemic teacher strike wave, the George Floyd uprising, the service and retail worker unionizing drives, Line 3, Palestine Solidarity, and note that none of these struggles emerged from the funded world of the nonprofits. These upsurges have all come rapidly enough in close enough succession that memories are retained, so each wave can build on the experiences of the last. And each has nourished the organizing, the ongoing organizing work, which sets the stage for the next. But there are past movements that are present among us, even when we're not aware of it. The co-equal wings of confrontation and mutual and solidarity aid that we've seen here echo the way they emerged together in the AIDS crisis organizing of the 1980s. And if you listen carefully, you can hear notes from the Underground Railroad, which not only provided places for people to hide, undocumented people, but also had to provide food and clothing, transportation, and medical assistance. Harriet Tubman would recognize this moment. So would Anne Frank. In fact, I think I recognized them in the crowds last week. One thing I can say about the present moment is that there are thousands of people here who have never before experienced the kind and level of solidarity from communities across the board. And there are thousands of people here now who have never experienced providing it. And there are experienced organizers working among them all, working out how to translate it into ongoing practice. What all that does to the emotional and what all that does to the emotional and cultural chemistry of a place remains to be seen. But those are gifts to weave into the songs that we bring forward from here.
Thank you so much, Ricardo, for your, as always, profound and grounding words. Yeah, thank you so much. The next song we're going to share is called No Están Solos, and it's by Francisco Herrera, Emma's Revolution, and the Peace Poets. And yeah, I'm just going to share some of my connection to this song, which is that hours after Alex Preddy was murdered, which was on a Shabbat morning in late January. Is that right? Yeah. And yeah, shortly after that afternoon, they had closed off that entire neighborhood. And I happened to be driving by, and there was literally like tanks on every block on marking out the whole perimeter. And you could only enter if you lived there. And so, whereas when Renee was killed, everyone gathered at the site of the crime for a vigil. We couldn't do that with Alex, and so there was a call to do vigils on every block, and within hours there was, I don't know, probably dozens, hundreds of vigils happening across the city. And it was -20 that night, I believe, somewhere between -15 and -20. And there was a vigil just 2 blocks from my house, and as I was walking over, I realized some of the neighbors I had been supporting lived like right outside, and at this time people were still not really leaving their homes except for if they had to go to work, if that. And so I called one of the families and I said, we're gathering outside your home to honor Alex's life, and there's going to be like 50 of us, and we can escort you there and escort you back. Like, I know you're scared to leave, but you know, there should be enough people that maybe you'd feel safe. And the first family responded and said, thank you, but we don't feel safe. And I said, of course, understand. And then I called the other neighbor, and she was like, we'll come. So we picked her up, her and her teenage niece, the 2 of them, and walked them there. And yeah, it was just so cold and like so profoundly cold. And yeah, 50 of us gathered, from like kids to elders and everyone in between. And yeah, it just felt like people stayed. I was like, I'm going to go for 15-20 minutes. And then like an hour and a half later, we were all still there, like singing together. And I kept checking in on this family and being like, are you too cold? Do you need to go? And they were like, no, we just want to stay. And yeah, it was, just felt really profound, the way that like having enough of us outside created a sense of enough safety. And then as we were about to leave, the family that I had called in the beginning, I saw them coming out. And so I think they had just like seen us out there long enough that they were like, okay, we can, come out. And this is one of the songs we got to sing. And I felt like it was important to have a song that was kind of in folks' native language and reflective of kind of like what we had been doing together, which is, like what we had, kind of the intention of our work was, which is to help remind people that they're not alone in this like really terrifying moment. All right.
Do you want to give the translation?
Oh yeah. So it's no están solos, no están solas, which is you're not alone, you're not alone. Juntas hacemos la liberación. Together we create liberation. Right. No están solos, no están solas, juntos hacemos la liberación. No están solos, no están solas, juntos hacemos la liberación. No están solos, no están solas, juntos hacemos la liberación. No están solos, no están solas, juntos hacemos la liberación. No están solos, no están solas, juntos hacemos la liberación. No están solos, no están solas, juntos hacemos la liberación. No están solos, no están solas, juntos hacemos la liberación. No están solos, no
solas, juntos hacemos la liberación. No están solos, no están solas, juntos hacemos la liberación.
Who is in your circle of care? It's a real question I want you to think about the answers to. Who would you let stay with you if they couldn't go home? Where would you stay if you couldn't go home? Who would you wake up before 5 a.m. to drive to work? Who would you go with to their doctor's appointment or ask to come to yours? Whose hobbies do you know about? Who do you know who's looking for work and what they're looking for? This year, the answers to all of those questions changed for me. And I believe that if we're going to win against fascism and if we're going to survive, they need to change for more of us. Mutual aid as a term was popularized by Russian anarchist and naturalist Peter Kropotkin in his 1902 book, Mutual Aid, A Factor of Evolution. And it's a name for something that was, for all of human history, just how people lived, but that in 19th century Christian European men were profoundly bad at, and they needed a book to teach them. Kropotkin showed that in contrast to ideas of social Darwinism and survival of the fittest, humans, like all animals, survive and thrive through cooperation, not competition. Dean Spade explains mutual aid as the collective coordination to meet each other's needs, usually from an awareness that the systems we have in place are not going to meet them. Traditional Jewish life, like all people whose ways of life were formed before capitalism and white supremacy, does not have or need a word for mutual aid. It is an assumption of how we live as Jews that the community makes sure everyone has their basic needs met. Collective coordination to meet each other's needs is also a way of describing a lion's share of halakha, of Jewish law. I have been part of movements for justice for 20 years, but my circle of care and the day-to-day rhythm of my life, the collective coordination to meet needs that I've been part of, has always been with family and like-minded friend groups. My family and friends are queer and in many ways non-normative and sprawling, but at the end of the day, they are family and friends who I would pick up if their car broke down. What was powerful about this time in Minneapolis is that it was a transformation in our way of relating, of who we are in relationship to and how. There have been rent funds, which we hope you donate to, and at the same time, there are people just asking friends and family for money to keep our neighbors housed that are way beyond what the rent funds are capturing. There are grocery and supply distribution and many people working very many shifts, and there are many of us who just started including some of our neighbors in our grocery shopping. There are people who used to drive just their own kids to school who now drive their neighbors' kids and their kids' classmates to school. There are retired elders who sit on their porch with a whistle at school drop-off and recess and pickup, whether or not they signed up on the spreadsheet. There is a very robust network of rapid response ICE Watch calls, and everyone has a whistle, and everyone knows how to check the database of ICE license plates. There is a massive amount of coordination happening. And I think why it worked is because it was a transformation on the level of our relationships, our circles of care, and our day-to-day enacting of our relationships. That life change, the fact that our resistance was all day, every day, woven into our relationships, is why we are collectively and individually exhausted. And it is what gives me a profound hope for our ability to fight fascism. Fascism, authoritarianism, any political system based on control of the many by the few rely on division and isolation so that people can't successfully fight back even though we far outnumber our oppressors. Capitalism is a perfect economic system to give birth to and nurture fascist authoritarian regimes because we are already divided and isolated. Capitalism relies on and creates individualism because wealth cannot be shared. Whenever mutual aid surges in visibility, as it has in this moment in Minneapolis, we hear critiques of that it lets the state off the hook, that it could never grow to scale, it doesn't address root causes. What I've learned in the past few months is that the main issue with these critiques is that they see it mutual aid solely as a political strategy, whereas mutual aid requires a profound, fundamental cultural shift at the level of relationship and care. Collective coordination to meet each other's needs is not a means to an end, it is an end of itself, because it fundamentally changes how we relate to each other and how we organize our lives. It means we are in a widening circles of care, which can, I believe, threaten and perhaps topple fascism, because when we are woven together in this way, in the daily rhythm of our lives, we fight for everyone. Everyone in Minneapolis has been talking about not wanting to go back to normal, and people around the country have been asking us how to emulate what we did here. I think one way we can grow this movement is to be intentional about practicing it as cultural change, as everyday life change, not just what we do in meetings or at actions, but a way of life where we intimately care for our neighbors across differences of class and race and language and ethnicity. This is countercultural. I will say that while it is beautiful, it is also inconvenient and hard and exhausting and deeply disincentivized in the culture we live in. The rides needed are very early in the morning and very late at night. The rent money keeps going up, and people are forever peopling in all of the beauty and challenges that entails. So we must, as we're doing here today, infuse this with song and humor and creativity and rituals of grief and of joy. And if there is one thing that you do to seed this movement where you live, if you ask me, I would just say, host a block party. Go door to door with flyers, invite everyone, sing, even if it's awkward, meet each other, learn who knows how to change a tire, learn who speaks what languages. When the army comes, which it will, you will already have practiced gathering together in the streets. And when the flood comes, you will know who needs more help getting out of the house. This is how we fight fascism, whatever may come. In the Exodus story, after years of suffering and struggling for freedom, our ancestors crossed the sea, but not into a problem-free liberation. They cross over into the wilderness, and there they have to learn to be in caring, reciprocal, interdependent relationships with each other, with the earth, with the divine. They wander, they weep, they forget, and they struggle to build a new society. That struggle continues. We are still in it today. And it is from this place of wandering and struggling in the wilderness that they receive Torah. This Pesach, I invite us to continue to recommit ourselves to the lifelong work of creating community, expanding our circles of care in the wilderness, everywhere we live with our mixed multitudes. This is how we get free.
We're all over here being like, yeah. Thank you, Rabbi Jessica. I'm going to pass it off to Miri.
Okay, hello. My name's Miri. I'm a Yiddishist, a klezmer. I'm from South Minneapolis. I was engaged in a lot of rapid response in the area I live in, uptown of Minneapolis, for the past few months, and I'm gonna be presenting. Okay, I'm presenting an adaptation of a song called L'Estaca, which is a Catalan protest song that was protesting under Francoist Spain and has gone through many permutations of being adapted into Yiddish and from Yiddish into English and all of this stuff. And it was a song I knew of and then was sticking in my mind even more due to a very auspicious random visit to Portland, Maine, where I just ran into another Yiddishist at a labor organizing event leading this song. Yiddishists are everywhere. And it was just sticking in my head since last summer. And yeah, we had the Klezmer on Ice Yiddish Music and Cultural Festival here in Minneapolis just like a week or two after Alex Preddy was murdered. And for the cabaret, I'd signed up to do something and I didn't really know what I was going to do for a while. And then I figured these lyrics out sort of the morning of the cabaret. And yeah, this morning I was trying to think about sort of how I'd frame this, because I'd say my song is maybe very literal and almost journalistic, which fits because I do some journalism. And it talks about just like very concrete, literal things that were going on in the streets the past few months. And I was thinking this morning about it, and this morning is actually just coincidentally my last living grandparent passed away, my Opa. And yeah, I was thinking about it because all of my grandparents, in their own very normal, casual way, resisted fascism. My Goyish Dutch grandparents in the occupied Netherlands and my Jewish American grandparents here in America. But they weren't huge talkers. They didn't pass on a lot of stories, really, which is something that, you know, I often wish that they had. So I was thinking about writing very concrete songs like this, where there are lines in it that out of context don't really make sense, like talking about taking the plates, like unless you're here now engaged in this work, that doesn't really mean anything necessarily to you. And just songs like this, you know, that are like just really great musical songs, they encourage people when they listen to them to sort of wonder, like, what do these phrases mean? Why is someone playing their trombone at a Hilton hotel? What is that about? And I think it can provoke curiosity about history, and resistance and all of that.
And taking plates means standing and documenting plates of possible ICE vehicles, license plates.
Yeah.
And then checking in the database to see if indeed it was verified or not.
Yeah, and that's, you know, it's very almost like it's very vernacular in that way, and a lot of my favorite protest songs that I've learned are just super unabashedly vernacular, like using the language of the time, the vocabulary of the time to talk about it, and then you wonder, like, what is this about? So yeah, gonna play this. Okay. Well, the feds are invading the streets, kidnapping neighbors off the block. Responders we get in the streets to stop this fascist plot. They've murdered 2 neighbors this year, just like Floyd, who they killed with their knee. So we'll abolish ICE and the racist police, so all of us can be free. Zusammen kennen wir uns, soll seine Show a Tag a Woche, schon fallen, 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 der zerfeulte alte Joch, als ich so sehen in der Miet, und du sollst sehen in der Zeit, wird schon fallen, 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 denn wir werden mir befreit. Ja, da, 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 da. Ja, da, 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 da. Ja, da, 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 ja, da, da, da. Ja, da, 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 da. If you stand watch from over there, I'll take the plates from over here, and the ice will be melting, 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 so the spring can bloom again. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da da da. Ya da 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 da. If you take my neighbor's kid to school, I'll bring your migrant friend some food, and the ice will be melting, 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 so the spring can bloom again. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da da da. Ya da da da. If you raise your child with love in this hell, I'll blast my trombone at the Hilton Hotel, and the ice will be melting, 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 so the spring can bloom again. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da da da. Ya da da da. Together we will tear it down. It may take days or weeks or years, and the old walls are falling, 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 for the new world to begin. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da da da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da da da.
Epic, says somebody in the chat. Thank you, Miri, for that. Yeah, just like such profound words that are captured and history that are captured in that song. So thank you. Miri, the first time I heard Miri do that was at a Shabbat we co-led together, and Jessica and I we were supposed to be helping lead the song, and we just sobbed through the whole thing. Thank you for that.
Jessica's sobbing over there.
Yeah. Currently sobbing. Also, if more people feel like turning their videos on, it's very nice to see it. We're looking at all your faces. So if you feel like joining us on video, it's very nice. Thank you to all who are. Hello. So yeah, hi everybody. Oh, that's nice. Before we jump into the next song, I wanted to share a few words of. Oh, my parents are here in the car. Yeah, just wanted to share some of my learning from the last many months, which is nothing new. It kind of goes off of what Jessica said, which is that like knowing and building relationships with our neighbors is what gets us through these times and is one of the more like resilient building things we can do, I believe. And especially when we're like building trust and connection before crisis, I think is like a great time, as good as time as ever to get to know our neighbors. And I just wanted to share like a few stories of my experience getting to know my neighbors and what the impact of that has been over the last many months. And it feels very, very special to share it on this day and auspicious, because one of the stories I wanted to share, can you hear me okay? With the cars in the background? Okay, great. One of the stories I wanted to share is about some Ecuadorian food vendors who have been selling outside our house for the past 2 summers, and we've built a relationship with, like, they use their hose to clean up, they have they store some of their stuff in our yard, and yeah, it's just been like a sweet relationship over the last 2 summers. And today is the first day that they're back, and they're out there and they have a little new umbrella, and there's just like people gathering before going to play volleyball in the park. And so it just feels like very special that we haven't known, like, will people feel safe enough to come back outside this spring, and today it's like a beautiful day, and yeah, just like very heartwarming to see them again. But just I wanted to use this as an example to say that, like, this is a family that my house had built a relationship with, and so to get really bad, like we were the, like, I don't think they had relationships with other folks outside of their Ecuadorian community. And so, like, when they needed food, when they needed help with rent, when they thought maybe ICE was outside their house, like, they called us. And the rapid response networks, especially in the height of things, were like so powerful and so alive and vibrant that, like, one night they called me at 10 p.m. and they said, I think ICE is outside our house, can you come check? And I called into the rapid response call, and like within 5 minutes we had like 4 cars there checking, and that happened a few times. And so yeah, it's just like illustrating one of like thousands of examples of people building relationship with their neighbors and then being able to show up for them in a time that's like terrifying and vulnerable, and when having those relationships helps to build bridges across like that rapid response kind of network, with the network of folks that are like directly impacted. And yeah, another story I wanted to share is about my housemate helped organize a bonfire for neighbors to get to know each other. I think it was last fall, and coincidentally also there's the same house that hosted is currently having a little neighborhood gathering again today. We can see it from right here. Mm-hmm. And yeah, like, I just think about the people I met there and how much those are the same people that I've then been like organizing alongside. And Renee Good and her family were there and with their kid, and they were new to town, and they connected with another family with a kid of a similar age, and that was the family that like most like hugely supported them after Renee was murdered, and that's like who they relied on. And yeah, just like taking a moment for that and honoring her life. Yeah, and so many of the folks there are like the same people that, I've been like coordinating ride support with, and that I've seen like coordinating food delivery for our neighbors. And so just like similar to what Jessica said, just wanting to encourage folks, like, get to know your neighbors now, not like if and when things become more of a crisis. And yeah, and just to share like kind of the story on the other side is a neighbor that I've gotten to know who shared with me that she got a flyer at her door that a neighbor had come and like dropped off saying like, we need support. And she said it took her, I think it was like 2 weeks to get the courage to actually reach out and ask for support, because she didn't have a relationship. And I think especially once things got worse, people have just been like so much more afraid to, to like receive support, because they've heard stories of people receiving letters saying they want to support, and it's actually like ICE or somebody who doesn't want to support them. So yeah. And the next song that we're going to share is called We Belong to Each Other, and it's by Annie Schlafer, who is a local Minneapolis song leader and songwriter. And I sang this at the first Singing Resistance gathering was a vigil. We like marched down Lake Street and in the neighborhood where a lot of folks had been taken, just like 2 blocks from here, and stopping at different places where people had been abducted. And yeah, it just felt like we'd all just, I think like Kestrel was saying, we'd all kind of just, up until that point, at least for myself, I'd kind of just like been in my lane of just like working alongside like my really direct neighbors, and that was a time of like gathering with people in a broader scale and singing together, just like really, I think for me, like helped me feel some of the emotions for the first time of, yeah, just like how painful things have been and how hard and scary, and also just like the profoundness of the ways that we'd been like showing up for each other and our neighbors. And yeah, this song really just like, I think helped it all, yeah, kind of land for me. So thank you, Annie, for this song. Is that good?
I think that was good.
Everyone, oh everyone of these people are ours, just like we are theirs. They belong to them, and they belong to us. Everyone, oh everyone of these people are ours, just like we are theirs. We belong to them, and they belong to us. Just like everyone are theirs. Just belong to them, and they belong to us. We belong to them, everyone, and they belong to us. Just like everyone, they belong to these people are ours. We belong to them.
So, as we've seen from the last many months, and as our ancestors and our people have known for generations, song is such an important part of surviving and getting through times like these. And I love my people saying we want to keep offering things like this and so many other offerings, both in person and online, for years to come, including not yet released, but we're very excited to share with you right now that we're going to be doing a Shabbaton, like a weekend gathering in Minneapolis this fall. And because capitalism exists, in order to be able to offer these things, we need resources, and it's hard for us to get them. And so we're gonna sing to you. And secondly, our neighbors still need lots of support, even though people are starting to leave their homes again. Many people are still afraid to leave their homes, and I think another thing that's going to be with us for a while is that there's many families that have lost their main income earner. One of the neighbors I've been supporting has lost like 3 of the 4 men in the family who were their main people bringing in money to pay rent. And so even though like the kind of big crisis is over, there's still like a long-term crisis of people being able to stay in their homes. So we're going to put in the chat links to all these things, and if you feel so called, we'd love if you'd make a gift to Let Me People Sing and match it to a mutual aid in whatever amount you feel able to. And if you're not able to give, there's of course other ways to support, like you can volunteer for a peer-to-peer campaign that's coming up, or sign up for like a shift of mutual aid in your community. And also, if you would also prefer to give to your own community now, you're invited to do that. So we're going to sing to you for a few minutes, and then we have many more songs, so please stay with us. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 And if you want to put a little emoji in the chat, if you made a donation or signed up to volunteer for supporting your community, that would be fun for us to see. And I'm going to pass it to Bex.
Hello. Hi, my name is Bex. I live here in South Minneapolis. I use she and they pronouns. If for some reason you can't hear me super well, make an emoji or a wave and I will try to speak up. I've had the just absolute honor of getting to song lead with Singing Resistance here in Minneapolis and in other community singing venues, and one of the most sort of absurd and cool and powerful experiences probably of my life to date was getting to song lead 2,000 people in an action in late January, maybe early February, where we went and we sang outside of hotels where ICE agents were staying, calling them to defect, to quit their jobs. You can do something else. Come join us. We welcome you. And so I didn't realize there were going to be 2,000 people there. I thought we had hundreds of people and maybe 1,000 people at previous week's actions, but suddenly I found myself in a situation of teaching a song to 2,000 people, and as someone who gets nervous with public speaking, I thought that I shouldn't maybe have gotten myself into that situation. I was pretty frustrated with myself. Here I go again. And then, I have all these butterflies. I'm thinking I'm not gonna know the words. I don't know how to sing. I have to sing, not just talk. And then the second I started singing No One Is Getting Left Behind This Time by Joshua Blaine, which is the song that I was teaching and led in the action, even though there were, 2,000 people's eyes on me learning the song from me, I suddenly felt totally grounded. That anxiety was gone, and I felt like I was exactly where I needed to be, being able to use my voice to teach and to allow 2,000 people to reflect back what I believe is so crucial, that no one is getting left behind this time. We get there together or never get there at all. It just feels so relevant in terms of my belief of how we are going to get to the world we dream of. And particularly in this action, so, I have the absolutely nightmarish but wonderful experience of leading 2,000 people in song in the church, and then we go out and I'm on this sound truck with a number of other song leaders, and the 2,000 people, of course, follow us. And we walk around in a protest loop about a mile long, passing by 3 different hotels where ICE agents were staying. And we pause in front of each hotel, and we sing to them, no one's getting left behind. You can join us anytime. You're welcome here. Quit your jobs. And it was so powerful because while clearly we know that no one can be left behind, and that particularly felt so relevant, such an important message to people being targeted by ICE, it actually also has to fundamentally include ICE agents. They have to come with us to the world that we're dreaming of, and of course there will be, we will have to do deep work to build trust again, but singing to them, you are people too, and you're not getting left behind, we're getting there together or never getting there at all, was just really beautiful. And to be leading on the sound truck and to hear 2,000 people singing back at me what I believe so deeply in my bones, not just getting to hear it resonate, but resonate through downtown Minneapolis with all these children dancing with their signs and people singing and people crying. I think that it was, again, maybe the coolest thing I've ever done. And I really credit the power of, song, and especially singing in community, as a way of connecting with our values and allowing us to build something that we know is possible when all of our voices come together in song, and we get to say, no one is getting left behind this time. We get there together or never get there at all. And so this song is by Joshua Blaine and goes like this. No one is getting left behind this time. No one is getting left behind. We keep singing.
No one is getting left behind this time.
Slow.
We get there together or never get there at all.
Okay, bring it up.
We get there together or never get there at all. We get there together or never get there at all.
Bring it up. One of my major fears when I was getting up in front of 2,000 people, evidently I should have been worried about here, is that I love to start things low, and the song has a big range. So let's bring it up. No one
is getting left behind this time. No one is getting left behind. No one is getting left behind this time. We get there together or never get there at all. We get there together or never get there at all. We get there together or never get there at all. behind this time. No one is getting left behind. No one is getting left behind this time. We get there together or never get there at all. We get there together or never get there at all. We get there together or never get there at all. No one is getting left behind this time. No one is getting left behind. No one is getting left behind this time. We get there together or never get there at all. We get there together or never get there at all. We get there together or never get there at all. No one is getting left behind this time. No one is getting left behind. No one is getting left behind this time. We get there together or never get there at all. We get there together or never get there at all. We get there together or never get there at all. One more time, here we go. No one is getting left behind this time. No one is getting left behind. No one is getting left behind this time. We get there together or never get there at all. We get there together or never get there at all. Last one. We get there together or never get there at all.
Thank you, Bex, and thank you, Josh Blaine.
Woo! Thank you.
I met Josh Blaine at Let My People Sing. Just a plug.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Hi, my name's Riv. I use they, them pronouns, and I live so close that I was able to run back home and get the audio recorder that I forgot and come back here. Live just a few blocks down on the other side of the park from Margot, and just want to say thank you to all these amazing people in this room who have led and shared your wisdom so far. I think this is the last song of the program.
I think so, yeah.
So, it's really such an honor to be in relationship with all of you. I'm going to share a few words about what I've learned from this experience, and then teach a new song that I wrote. And I think it's happening just at the perfect time because the Benadryl kicked in for my cat allergies. So, grateful for that. So while we were really in the worst of things, I kept saying I feel like I'm living in my worst nightmare and also in Olam Haba, in the world to come, at the same time. And it was this really bizarre feeling of just like the volume being totally turned up, like seeing the absolute worst of humanity and also witnessing the absolute best of humanity. And it felt like the more cruel they were to us, the kinder we were to each other. Like even just people that I would pass on the street, or like someone in their car stopping for me as a pedestrian, just felt this like overflowing energy of kindness, of uniting against this common enemy. And I think that that is hard for us to feel with all of the crises that are ongoing, and with the manifold ways that white supremacy and imperialism, etc., are constantly enforcing oppression upon us. It was a transformative experience for me to have this very tangible, immediate crisis that it was so clear, like, this is the problem, and what I can do is offer food or try to prevent this abduction or pay someone's rent. So it was the closest thing that I've experienced so far in my life to like moving as one body. And that is a transformative experience that I wish for each of us to experience. There is really something for, there were times when like we're on these signals and you're just, oh my God, the signal chats. The never-ending flow of signal where you're on your couch and you're like, oh my God, I haven't gotten up in 2 hours. I've just been organizing with my thumbs for hours. But I remember someone sharing, like, I've started making these coloring sheets for kids in Spanish, and I was like, we should get those in the deliveries that are going out from this bodega. And like within, I don't know, days, that was happening. And it happened through all of these connections so much that you couldn't really trace like who did that, whose idea was that, who did that. Like that question is totally irrelevant. And I want to share a quote from a book that's been really dear to me, called Theory of Water, Anishinaabe Maps for the Times Ahead by Leanne Vedasamo Sake Simpson. And she says, the thing about a network is the sustaining parts are not the hubs, but the connections between the hubs. Nibi, water, the air, the land. The thing about a network is that the individual beings aren't so important, but rather the quality and strength of the relationships between beings. So much so that the hubs, or the bodies of the network, are composed of these relationships. Life is made in the interstitial stasis between beings. Life is made in the interstitial spaces between beings. So I think that this is a lifelong practice, and that's something that I've come to reckon with since Trump's re-election and since traveling this summer in Europe and seeing fascism rising in other places that World War II fascism is really close to my association with those places and my ancestors' presence in those spaces. And I initially hit a place of deep despair that was like, if we're just gonna keep repeating this, what is the point? What is the point? They're always gonna have the guns and more of the resources. Why should I even fight back? And I'm very grateful that all the experiences I've had since then have shown me that the point is not about winning. It's about the win of choosing how we live in this world, of choosing each other over and over again, of choosing love and kindness, choosing the best of humanity to bring forward, and believing in the beautiful world we know is possible for every child on this planet. And I'll just throw in a quote from Andor that rebellions are built on hope. So I want to share a new song that I wrote about believing in the beauty to come. And I think about this as a Nachshon song. Nachshon is a character from Torah and Midrash. And there's a rabbinic story, a Midrash, that says, while Moses was on the side of the sea and freaking out and kind of pleading with God and not knowing what to do, just this one person, Nachshon, started taking step after step into the water. And the waters didn't part until they reached his nostrils. And I've always been so inspired by that image that we actually can bring that freedom, that liberation, that new world about by walking toward it, even when it's unclear how we're going to get there. And I think that that's crucial work for us as world builders, which we all are. We are all co-creating what this thing is that we're doing on Earth together in every moment, with every thought, word, and action. And can we keep walking toward that future, even if we can't see how we get there? And what happens when we all like link arms and walk into the sea. So the lyrics are pretty simple, just like usually one word changes each verse. So when you catch on, I hope you'll sing with us. I want to believe in the beauty to come. I want to believe in the beauty to come. I want to believe in the beauty to come. It will come, oh, it will come. I'm ready to believe in the beauty to come. I'm ready to believe in the beauty to come. I'm ready to believe in the beauty to come. It will come, oh, it will come. I'm starting to believe in the beauty to come. I'm starting to believe in the beauty to come. I'm starting to believe in the beauty to come. It will come, oh, it will come. I fully believe. I fully believe in the beauty to come. I openly believe in the beauty to come. Bravely. I bravely believe in the beauty to come. It will come, oh, it will come. I want you to believe in the beauty to come. I want you to believe in the beauty to come. I want you to believe in the beauty to come. It will come, oh, it will come. 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 Oh, it will come. It will come. It will come. Oh, it will come.
Thank you for that beautiful song, guys. Thanks to everybody for your just like stunning voices and words and songs. We'll close with one of these songs. We haven't decided, but if anybody wants to come off mute and just say, yeah, give any gratitude to any of the songs or anybody who shared words you want to give some gratitude to, anything you're taking away, we'd love to hear from you.
Loving the singing and really appreciating the education from Jessica and Ricardo Levins Morales. Great education.
Thanks, Joan.
The singing completely beautiful. I've been
taking voice memos to get all the tunes and copying the words. And some of them I knew, but you're so beautiful together. And the stories, I've been writing them down because I'm going to use them in my alliance building class. So this is just what I needed. Thank you.
Thanks, Penny.
Thank you for the inspiration, always, from the new writing of songs and the re-singing of songs from others. And it's good to keep hearing them over and over again. And thank you for the teachings from the depths of the sadnesses of your hearts. It's felt, it's heard, and it keeps us all going because we're all there. It is what it is.
Thanks, Carol.
Thanks, team. Sending love from Bay Area, California. Sweet to see those of you I know and those of you I'm meeting. Really grateful for your everything that you've offered us.
Thank you.
I'd also like to suggest for anyone who didn't take notes, save the transcript.
Yeah, well, thank you so much to everybody for, just like the witnessing, as I think Miri's song says, it's like the ice is thawing. Literally, it has thawed in the last weeks and we're coming into spring, and it's just I don't know, at least for myself, it's just like this wild transition moment of people being out again on the streets and everything being a little less of a crisis, but also being just like so close to what just happened and still processing it. So thank you for, being here and witnessing us. And it's just special for me. I'm going on parental leave in like 2 weeks. And so this is my last Let Me People Sing event until that chapter is passed. So thanks for being here.
Thank you, Margot.
Yeah, thank you, Margot.
Yeah. Should we close with the Megan? Thank you, everybody. Thanks to everybody here and to our special guest, Leela, for the extra added support.
Tea supplier.
Tea and water and extra voice. Blessings to you all.